what I'm going to do is show you what the BARD menu looks like and what the app looks like when you go into it, right? So I've got a BT Speak here, and let me just do a deep escape to make sure I'm back
Viewing
in the
welcome
file.
screen. File 1 of 1.
Okay, so I am in the welcome screen file, and I'm going to go to the options menu.
Options menu.
And you've already heard the first change, that you didn't hear options menu open, just said options menu. So it may not seem like a big deal, but after a while it's just going to be really nice, I think, and make things go by a lot faster. We'll go to the applications menu.
Applications menu.
And I'm going to press L for the library submenu.
Library applications menu.
And we've got a couple of apps here, including our Bible app and NFB Newsline, but there's a third app
The Bible,
here.
B. NFB Newsline, N.
I think I'm going to slow this down. I thought
Speech
I
controls,
had.
rate 0.
Yeah.
Exit.
Okay.
NFB Newsline, N.
Okay, so there's NFB Newsline, but let's see what else we have here.
NLS BARD, L.
And there's NLS BARD, with L being the shortcut. I'm going to open this up by pressing enter.
Logging in. Logged into BARD. BARD main menu. Books, B.
Okay, cool. So it said logging in, and then it let me know I was at the main menu. Now, when you open this app for the first time, the first thing you're going to be asked for is your username. And this is usually the email address that you used to sign up with the BARD service. So you're going to enter that email address, then you press enter, which is .8. The next thing you'll be asked for is your password. You enter that password, press enter, and then you're going to hear what I just heard. It's going to log you in and put you back at the main menu, right? So, and you only have to do that once, because I've gone in and out of this app many times. Just like NFB Newsline, it shouldn't keep asking you to enter your username and password. So I'm in the main menu. Let's see what we have here. The first item, I'm going to press
Indent 0.
.14 chord.
Books, B.
Is books. So that's pretty obvious, but I'm going to press .4 chord to move down here.
Magazines, M.
All right, so we have magazines.
Music, U.
We've got music, because NLS does have a Braille music collection, and we do include that.
Downloaded publications, R.
We've got downloaded publications. So this is a list of any books or magazines that I might have already downloaded to the device.
Subscriptions, S.
Okay, so we have subscriptions. If you're really familiar with BARD, you'll know about that. That really means one of two things, or one or two things. It can mean that if there's a book series that you like, it will, and if a new book in that series is added, you will see that in the list. So, for example, I'm a Doctor Who fan, and if I had Doctor Who as my subscription, the next time a Doctor Who book gets added, I would see that in the subscriptions list. But you can also use it for magazines. So if you read, let's say, Science News, and next month there's a new edition of Science News that comes out, you will have that new edition automatically added to your subscription list, and we do support that. Let's see what the next
Wish
item
list,
is.
W.
There's the wish list. So that's a list of any books that you've added that you might like to read at some point, but maybe not now. And most of us probably use that feature. I've been using BARD since probably BARD came out, so I have a really huge wish list right now.
Download history, T.
And that's the download history, so it shows you all of the various books that you have downloaded from the service.
BARD options. Oh.
There's some BARD options that we can adjust. For example, what language we want the books in, so you can adjust that.
Logout. L.
And there's a logout option if you need to do that.
Books. B.
And now we're back to books. So I'm going to press enter on books and let's see what we have in here.
BARD books menu. Most popular. P.
Okay, so this is going to be very familiar for those of you who are regular users of BARD on other platforms. The first thing we have is the list of the most popular books on the service.
Recently added. R.
We can look at the most recently added books. We can also, by the way, do that with magazines.
Browse authors.
We can browse all of the authors.
Browse subject. B.
We can browse a list of subjects and then see what books we have based on that subject.
Search books. S.
And we can search books.
Most popular. P.
Okay, so we're back to the beginning. Let's go into search books and we'll see what choices we have.
Search books. S. Search BARD books menu. Title search. T.
Okay, so we can do a title search.
Author search.
We can do an author search if we know the author that we're interested in.
Narrator search. N. Series search. S.
Okay.
Keyword search. K. Title search. T.
And let's do a title search so we can see what these search results actually look like.
Title.
Okay, I'm going to look for the book Little Women. So, I am going to do a search for Little Women.
Little space WOMEN.
Okay. Press enter on that.
Loading result. Results for Little Women. Good Wives, or Little Women, Part 2.
Okay, so there's the sequel to Little Women, but that's not the one that I wanted. I wanted the original, or the first one.
Little Women.
There it is, Little Women. So we'll press enter on that.
Item options. Item details.
Okay, so there are some options here. There's item details.
Read.
I can read the book.
Download Braille.
I can download it and read it a little later if I want to. That could be very useful, by the way, if I'm going on a trip, taking a train, and I want to read the book, but I'm not going to have access to the internet while I'm traveling. That's a good example of when I might want to download that.
Add to wish list.
I can add Little Women to my wish list.
Subscribe.
Now I can also choose to subscribe. That means if there are new books in the Little Women series, which is probably not very likely, but or if a new reissued copy of one of the Little Women books is added again, if it's retranscribed, it'll add it to my subscription list.
Item details.
And item details will tell me about the book just so that I can confirm I'm on the right one. Let's press enter to see what we have.
Title, Little Women.
Okay, that's the title.
Format, Braille.
Okay, it's in the Braille format, which of course I expected.
Description. The author's home life in New England is the basis for this book, which has been popular for more than a century. The tale tells of the four March sisters, quick-tempered Jo, who is restless for freedom, Beth, who loves her home and family, Meg, who longs for series, a Dell Yearling classic.
Okay, I just interrupted that and moved to the next line. This is the series.
Subjects, classics.
There's the subject.
Authors, Alcott, Louisa May.
Louisa May Alcott.
Blank. Z-chord to exit.
Okay, and if I press Z-chord,
item
I'm
options.
back where I
item
am.
Details.
What's really cool is if you choose the read option, it will open the book and you can start reading it from the beginning. And this gives you a few benefits. First, if you set your Braille table accordingly, you will be able to hear it and read it just like any other document. Most books that you download, and of course most of the magazines, you're going to have to set your Braille table for UEB in order to ensure compatibility. But there are some older books, I think I found one of them when I was testing this, that uses the old EBAE code. And we have no control over that. I think it's books starting from 2016 that use UEB. So I think it's safe to say that for most of what you download, you're going to have to use UEB, but occasionally you may have to go into Braille settings and change your table to what we call US English. But it's easy enough to do. And while you're reading the book, you can also, you can't edit the book, but you can place a mark and then copy certain portions of it and then paste that into another file in our editor. You can also use the find command to find certain occurrences of the word. You just have to make sure that you're entering the characters as they appear. So because these are contracted files, you have to take that into account. So that is a demo of what you can expect with our BARD app. And all of these features, as I say, will be coming hopefully in the next month. I feel pretty confident about that. And I'll kick it over to Stephen in case you might have something to add. And if not, we can kick it over to you guys in the audience for questions.
Thank you, David and Tim. That was an excellent overview of the upcoming update. And as David said, we hope to have that out soon. So we'll take any questions. If you want to join in the Q&A session, just raise your hand and we'll get to you in the order of your. Okay, we're going to go to Brandon.
Will we eventually have these meetings in BT Town at some point?
So that is not impossible, but I would say a few things. Believe me, that has crossed my mind. But there's a few things to note. First, we're going to have to do a lot of additional development in order to make that happen. But the thing I don't want to do is to leave out those who are not BT Speak or BT Braille users. So if we had these webinars on the BT Town platform, the downside of that is that anybody who doesn't have a BT Speak can't join. So I don't think I would be inclined to have these webinars moved to BT Town. What I think is possible is to have maybe separate sessions on BT Town, maybe some trainings, some exclusive trainings for customers. So that's something that could be a possibility down the road.
Okay, thanks, Brandon. We're going to go to Michael. Michael Harris.
So my question then, especially after what Tim Noonan talked about with the sort of the making the codes universal, is support for third-party Braille displays like the NLS e-reader.
Tim, if you want to address that,
right.
that would be all right.
So look, it's a very good question and something we're aware of. Our focus has been so intensely on getting the BT Braille unified device working, and we're using BRL TTY, as I explained, as our sort of middleware layer, and it speaks to the display and it speaks to the speech server. Right now, if you plug an external Braille display in, BRL TTY, and we haven't even really investigated this yet, just because we're so focused on this BT Speak release. But right at the moment, it doesn't treat it the same way as an internal display. And there's a lot of technical explanation I can give you. Suffice to say, it's on our list of things to address, but it's not at the top of the list with all the other things that we have to get sorted, but it definitely is there. But I can't give you a time frame. We had optimistically thought it might just work, and it may be a simple fix, or it may be quite involved. We don't actually have enough info at this stage. But definitely we're aware of the need and the benefits of being able to do that.
Okay, well, I would be willing to. I have the e-reader and would be happy to help with that if be possible.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, there's also, the challenge of it's not just, and Tim, you can comment on this if you'd like, but it's more than just being able to force the text on a Braille display, because what people would want is to be able to, for example, take their e-reader or their Focus or whatever other third-party display they have and then use those buttons on the display to to control the text. And so that's also a lot of additional development to be able to support properly all of those displays. So it's
That's right. The input side's an even potentially more
right.
complicated factor, because BRL TTY is the program that needs the device driver for the specific device that you're connecting. Our first job will be to have the Braille output that would come onto your external device be the same as what would be on the BT Braille display. And at the moment, there's not consistency. So that's our first challenge. But as I say, it's definitely on our roadmap, and but we're putting every breath at the moment into getting the BT Braille ready for shipping. And once that's done, we can catch our breath and start to look at third-party displays.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we dealt with the same challenge with the Braille and Speak during the Blazy engineering days, and there were 2 displays that I know of that we directly supported, and that's really the challenge. But I think those of you who use the BT Braille, or those of you who might decide to purchase a BT Braille in the future, will be very pleased with what you see.
Okay, thank you, Michael. We're going to go to John.
I want to ask about Unicode Braille. I know I've read Unicode Braille files, so I know that part is okay. Is there a way to enter Unicode Braille into a file? And if so, can you have Unicode Braille mixed with plain text or mixed with contracted Braille?
I'm going to have to take that one offline. Yeah. It's something we have been doing some work on the BT Braille side, but I don't want to talk about specifics of the product that's not yet out. But I do know what you're saying, Unicode Braille, and blending that in with regular Braille and what displays do, how that is supported in the editor. Is something we're aware of, but I can't really say much more at this stage. But I appreciate the question.
Okay, thank you, John. I'm going to go to Scott.
All right, thanks. Well, my question is on this BT Town you're coming out with. Is it going to include, at some point, if not right away, live voice chat like we're doing here?
It will not include it in the first version. Okay. Now, could it? Can it? I don't see why not. I think if we were going to use it for the types of things that we were asked about earlier in this call, we would really have to have that. Yeah. I want to be very clear here that I'm not committing to any of these things. These are just ideas that we have, that we've had some very preliminary talks on. So I think that it will, and I think that it should, provided that we can build that into the platform.
think definitely voice output is not necessarily super complicated, but having
Right.
full duplex output and input with this arrangement could. So yeah, really no, we don't know at this stage.
All right. Thanks.
Sure, it's a good question though, and it's really one that if we can do it, then we'd like to pursue that.
All right, thanks, Scott. We're going to go to Gary.
I think you guys are doing a bang up job with this. I'll admit I haven't used the BT Speak as much as I would like, but I've got a BT Braille ordered and I'm bouncing up and down waiting for it to get here.
Good. We're bouncing up and down because we're really close to shipping more of those units. I mean, very close. So I don't think you'll have to wait super long. And as I said a few minutes ago, I think you're going to like what you see.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, Gary, those outstanding early adopter units are shipping as we speak. And so
That works.
have to wait too long.
That works. And you've probably had this asked already, especially since now you've done a whole bunch of work in the BARD arena.
Mm-hmm.
Possibility of adding the BARD audio book player.
Well, that's a good question, Gary. I expected somebody to ask this. So in the first version of BARD that we're planning to release with this update, you're going to be able to download any of those audio books, but at the time, BT Speak or BT Braille doesn't have an audio codec that's capable of handling the BARD digital rights management module. In other words, unlocking those audio files and allowing you to play those on the device. Our device is not licensed for that, so you won't be able to do that. It's a feature that we're hoping to add soon, but it involves some negotiation with NLS and finding the right codec for our device. And we're really interested in seeing how much interest there is in that. And we expected there would be, but that's going to factor into whether this is going to bring as much value to the device as cost, because it is a very costly investment for that piece of software.
So Stephen, Tim here. Am I right that what you could do is if you did download an audiobook onto your BT Speak or BT Braille, you could connect to your PC via USB and it would play in a BARD player on your PC. Is that what the current feature is?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Any device that's licensed to play the BARD audio books, you can download those books onto BT Speak or BT Braille and transfer those files wherever you'd like and play them on another device. So that you can do, but you can't play the books on the BT Speak.
Well, I appreciate all the effort you've put in so far. It is looking fantastic.
Thank you.
Great to hear. Thanks, Gary.
I want to see iPhone support and screen reader support as well with BT Braille, where you can pair with your iPhone, voiceover with the BT Braille or with JAWS and stuff like that in the future, like other note takers as well in the future, hopefully.
Look, we have on the roadmap absolutely that it will have a Braille be an
Terminal,
external Braille terminal mode. Exactly.
Yeah.
That won't be in the first release, but it's next in the queue once the official release is out. That'll be the next thing that we're definitely working on. We realize that's an essential feature.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
We're going to try Michael.
On the NLS BARD, as far as getting the BT Speak as a licensed player, is that something that you all would be okay with us mentioning on, say, like the Many Faces of BARD meetings when they open it up for Q&A, that we would like to have the BT Speak licensed as an audio player?
The roadblock there isn't really a matter of having NLS permit us to license it. They've already done that. The issue is that they only license the devices that have a specific software module in it that's capable of unlocking the files, and that has to do with copyright. And so they're playing by the rules, and all the devices have to play by those same rules.
Oh, so it's more of an infrastructure situation.
It is. Well, the problem is that there are very few companies in the world that make such a software that's capable of handling that unlocking mechanism. It's a very exotic software, and so it would require a lot of effort for us to work with another group to do that. It's certainly possible, and it's something that I think we're going to have to do. But we wanted to make sure that everybody was able to access the BARD library regardless of this audio feature. We didn't want the audio feature to hold back the application.
Sure.
So that's
Well,
why.
if it ever becomes possible, I'm definitely interested. Thank you.
Great. I think that concludes our
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this.